Ah, and of course, we look real professionals. We're sitting here just talking over,
Yeah,
we're on the air and
exactly.
we're just kind of
Oh,
talking
are
to
we
each.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, hi everybody. Whoops. Yeah. Wow, that sounds cool. Never mind.
ooh,
I don't know how that sounded over there, but on the headphones, it was freaking cool.
yeah. I think we found a new win from it.
I know.
Let's
Oh,
make sure that we've got sound, but
yeah.
I think we're ready to go.
Sound looks like it.
Um, I don't remember what we do this show on. It's YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not saying that I'm tired or anything.
Or
My
as I've
brain
heard some
isn't
people call
working.
it, never mind.
I got a little button that says, "There we go."
There we go. Yes. And we
Cool.
should like share it out so that people know that we're out here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a week this has been already. First of all, welcome
Horrible.
to Roundtable on Enchantment Broadcasting. He's Randy Lynch. I'm BJ Ramirez. We're by ourselves. Unfortunately, Trevor is unable to join us.
Yeah, he's gearing up. They're getting ready to start the new
Yeah.
Zia Comics in Alamo.
And
So
he is going to he's going to be running that, right?
yes. So we're going to be looking at some changes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he won't be able to join us, and that is really unfortunate because, man, I'll tell you, even though it was all that stuff that was way over my head, it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So.
and we may have some nerdy stuff come up, either on occasional shows here, or there may be a separate show at some point.
Oh, that's a good. That's
that was kind of the idea, is to eventually morph it into that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. You have to be mighty before you can morph like that.
Yeah.
And have to have a certain amount of power behind you.
That didn't take nearly as much time as it should have for me to get that.
Yeah. And everybody's got to have a medallion they hold up at the camera before we start. Anybody who doesn't get that, you're just not a nerd.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little disappointed that I got it so fast. Well, it has been an interesting week for me. It's been a really good week because my kids are in town. My two older kids from that are in Missouri, with my 8-year-old granddaughter Chloe. It's been my daughter Felicia that lives out here. She moved into her house in El Paso, and she did not know they were coming. She was told by my other daughter, that her sister told her, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to make it." So they go over there. We surprised her. A lot of tears, a lot of hugging, and then all of a sudden, not 2 minutes later, her and her brother are wrestling again. And it's just been fun having all three granddaughters. We went out yesterday, the day before, with them all, and it's just been so much fun. It was really cool. Of course, my daughter was overjoyed seeing her nieces, and especially getting to hold the baby. And I was really surprised. My son, Andrew, he impressed me because I never saw him as, I didn't see him as really, he was good with kids, but the look on his face when he was holding his niece was just, it's a beautiful thing to see them all together. It is so beautiful to see them all together. Some things do not change, unfortunately. Andrew, you've heard me tell the story of the son who I said, "Boy, I'm going to search your room and I better find drugs." That's Andrew. Not much has changed, unfortunately. He is
not a bad thing all the time.
Yeah, but this he just not much has changed. He gets he's very intellectual. And we have really, like last night, we got into a deep conversation about a lot of things, and it was neat to talk to him like that. But then every once in a while he says something, I'm like, what? So we did that a lot, and it's been wonderful having them. They're going to be here till Sunday, so I'm going to get that, and they're going to come out and see me play because I'm a little bit busy this week.
Yeah.
They're going to see me play tomorrow night.
Now you're playing 2 different gigs this weekend.
Yeah, I've got Don Felix tomorrow night from 5 to 8, and then D.H. Lacombs and Alamogordo on Friday from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's going to be pretty until next month. But but I do, who knows what'll happen, because last week I opened open mic, played for about a little over a half an hour. Because so many people showed up. It was jam packed. It was the open jam again. So I played for about a half an hour, and then Friday I was at Don Felix. playing by myself until about 6:30. But and then Saturday I was at NM Vintage Wines. That was an awesome night. And then Sunday I had no voice.
Yeah.
I cannot do more than 2 nights in a row. Even though, I mean, Thursday really didn't play that much. But it was just nice to get back up there with Red and Dwight.
Yeah.
That was awesome. They're just, just play something, we'll follow.
Yeah.
That baffles me as to how they can do that. I mean, just amazing.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And catch them this week. I forgot I think Jaffe Ryder is going to be with them.
I think so.
I'm not sure. It's either going to be Jaffe Ryder or so, but yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had my guitar lesson last night, yesterday, and my teacher Damian is talking about coming out this Thursday. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
So yeah, he doesn't get to come out too often to this, and of all the open mics, all the open mics, all the events that go on, I think one of the nicest feeling ones as far as overall everything is Amaro's open mic on Thursday night because of the crowd and also because of the weather right now. It's just so nice outside on that patio in the back.
It's beautiful because last night I got to sit and have a cigar with my son, and it was just nice to sit out there. And this is that great time of year. The wind stops when the sun goes down, and then it's just beautiful. So last time we were out there late last night. It was nice. It was really nice to get that. And then you go over to Amaro and it's just beautiful out there. And I discovered another wine. Thanks. I got to sit with Daisy and talk. It was funny because here's Daisy. She just dropped her album. She's out on the road doing some shows right now.
Yeah, and she's fixing to go to Amarillo. Well, she just finished Amarillo yesterday.
And I think she's Clovis, Amarillo, doing something like that. She'll be back. And we set her up to come here.
Yeah.
To talk about her album and maybe get a few tunes out of her. So that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that. And we were sitting and talking about, because she had just finished a business class to help her with her, production company. So we sat for about an hour and talked business.
Yeah.
She wants to help me with my nail designs, marketing and stuff. So we're talking marketing all night. It was like weird because usually we talk about music, but that night it was all about business. And it was just, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And so she came and we talked. She came over to my studio and we talked, and I did her nails, of course, because had to. She was going on the road and she needed flashy nails, so made sure about that. And I did one of those holograms on her thumb. And she goes, I go, because your thumb kind of needs. And she goes, and I said, think about it, when you're playing and you mute your E, it's gonna show. And she's like, oh, she didn't think of that. I'm like, yeah, that's why you got me.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun, and that was great. So congratulations to her. It's doing well.
Oh yeah.
She's having fun.
This is a really smart move that she's making. Anybody who doesn't know Daisy Blue, she is she's been playing here in town for forever now.
Yeah.
But she's now playing the surrounding areas. Mostly the surrounding areas. She's played in Minot now. She's now played in Amarillo.
Clovis, and I think she's stopping in too.
Yeah, Clovis a lot because she's got family there, I think. But yeah, she's kind of spreading out.
I've been to Clovis. I went to there's a pastor, very famous. He travels everywhere with his ministry, and his name is Jesse Duplan. Is very entertaining and great speaker. So we went up to Clovis to see that. It's a nice town. It's very nice.
Yeah, it really is.
It's nice. So it was a lot of. So yeah,
I'd rather be in Clovis any day compared to Amarillo.
Good point. Yeah.
I have family in Amarillo. We've been there once, and it's like, no, thank you. They can come down here.
My kids are. We're talking about the food. They want to go to Mexican. They want like Mexican almost every. Well, my son is part. They don't have Whataburger in Missouri. So he has had Whataburger every day he's been here.
Okay, so let me ask. Have you exposed them to Calichis?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be another, because my other daughter, my granddaughter, Camille, she wants to go. She calls it the pink ice cream because of the pink lights. So she calls it that. And so she mentioned it the other day. So we got that, but we're going to take him out for real Mexican food, because last time he came out, his girlfriend was with him that he was dating. And she was very, I'm glad they're not dating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because not the right girl for him, and he figured that out. But he's like, now that she's not here, I want to go for real Mexican food because she got annoyed. My wife got annoyed last time they were here, so we went and got enchiladas from Roberto's and heard them complain about how spicy they were all night.
That's funny.
Meanwhile, Kathy and I are just scarfing them down, and the kids are like, "Oh, this is really spicy." We're like, "Really? Is it?"
Oh, dude.
So now my son's like, since she's not here, I want to, go to some real Mexican food. And I'm like, okay, we got enough of those. So we're doing that. And they've been wanting to experience New Mexico. So that's really cool. My son wants to go. They want to go up, do some hiking.
Cool.
So I think that's what they're going to do early this morning. So although I talked to my son and I said, hey, if you want, come on with me. And he goes, what time do you leave? I said, well, I get over to his house around 7:30. And he goes, yeah, Dad, I'm not functional until 8. And he goes, and even then I don't get out of bed until, because he works graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
He works at a clinic where he monitors sleep studies.
Yeah.
And so he has to watch EKG machines and do rounds and stuff like that. Well, he's up all night. So he's, in that, he's nocturnal now. So it's like he sleeps, but he's doing good while he's out here.
Yeah.
He's been like last night, he was tired around like 10 o'clock. He was like, I got to go to sleep. And I was like, wow. He goes, yeah, I'm going to have a heck of a time when I get back home.
Yeah. It doesn't take that long to readjust. That's a futon. He could have always come out here.
I know. He could have been asleep.
That would have made for a great show. Especially if he's a snorer.
Then again, anytime anybody with a teenager be going, yeah, and?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's been my week. It's been fun. My 8-year-old granddaughter, Chloe. Oh, sharp little thing.
Yeah.
My wife watering her plants. And I went to the store for something. I come back and Chloe's sitting on the couch, looks at me and goes, your wife sprayed me with the hose.
Uh-huh.
And then earlier she looked at her mom and went, your mother. I'm like, oh, yeah. And my daughter's like, sometimes I don't know about this kid. I just want to strangle her. She's just so ornery. She's just so, and that's the talking back to me. I don't know where that came from. And then we both couldn't hold it anymore and went, really? You don't know where she got that?
Hey, that little girl paid me one of the best compliments ever and didn't say anything to me. was whispering to your wife when we were out there playing together.
Oh.
And I was playing a song. And the first thing she said is, that's a really pretty guitar.
That was Camille. Yeah.
Oh, that was Camille. Okay.
I'll talk about Chloe.
Okay.
8, but yeah, Camille is, and it was funny because she came out to open mic one time and she looked at she saw Truman's guitar.
Uh-huh.
And she says, I like his guitar. And she's told him that. And Truman was such a trooper. He was so cool. He went and grabbed it, showed it to her, showed her all the paint, and she was just blown away by it.
Oh yeah.
Because he put so much into that guitar. His Flying V 7-string. There's so much detail in that. So he had no problem showing that off, and she was just loving it.
And in anybody else's hands, it's basically a big brick.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It is so screwy the way it's put together. So, yeah. But he can play it. Everybody else, even when they can play it okay, they always complain after the fact.
Oh yeah. He's got it set so that it's for him.
Yeah.
So, but I get it, because when I built mine, I had a couple of people like Damian. He loves my guitar. He just doesn't know if he could play it because it's just the way I have it set up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was really cool. It's really cool to see that my my granddaughter Chloe, I have not been able to practice, but today I have to. And so she's like, Grandpa, you promised you were going to play. And I'm like, I will. And so Camille and Chloe are expecting me to play when I get back later.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. My kids are like, my daughter goes, when are we going to Dad's little thing? And I'm like, little thing. They never really wanted to hear. I don't even think they know how good I can sing, because when they were kids, every time I pick up my guitar or whatever, it's just like, Dad, you're making a lot of noise. All right. Never mind.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think they're going to be a little surprised when they hear me tomorrow.
No, that's cool though.
So we talked about my shows coming up.
Yeah. I have been working for the last 2 weeks and stressing and freaking out because I will be playing at Amaro on Saturday
from
3 to 6.
3 to 6. not only that, so he's basically opening for CWA on in the Long Hairs.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's actually considered opening or if I'm just playing and then they're playing later. I'm calling it opening.
Yeah, I do call it that because it's cool. That's going to be awesome. It's Xiao's birthday bash. I was there last year. That was awesome. It's just a big party and it's so much fun. And Xiao's usually very open and friendly and, but she's more, making sure the business run. That's when she just like lets off.
Yeah. She's not working that day. She's not working. Playing.
She's playing and she's going to be a little butterfly around to everybody and she's going to have a great time. It's going to be awesome. So if you go out there, plan on being there a while because you got Randy playing from 3 to 6 and then 7:30 CW and Long Hairs. It's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. Unfortunately, I have promised the kids we're going to be in El Paso, so I won't be able to make it. But because they're leaving Sunday, so Saturday we're going to be up in El Paso, so all the kids can get together and have one more day together. And before, who knows when they do this again? But it sounds like I'm hoping it'll be a normal thing because they like coming out here. They really like coming out here.
Cool.
So you're gonna.
You notice I'm sitting on a chair.
That's right.
Yeah,
because
my cajon's in the other room. I have put together my sound system.
Yeah, he's got his setup. He's been practicing all set up like that. That is so cool.
So,
and you have a good 3 hours of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm a smart ass, so I think I've got it covered.
Oh yeah, and then you got to engage a little bit, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And he's so cute. He keeps talking about how nervous he is. Yeah, until you strum that first chord and then all bets are off. It's like it's not going to be, and then he's one of us. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because this is your first. Because as far as playing out, you played little snippets where you joined Damian and you played for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and you did it again with Dallas where it was their gig, but you went in and played a little bit, so it had more. But this is his gig.
Yeah,
your show.
This is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So.
And it does there is a different feel to it when you're in control because when you go, it's like Damian's show, but I'm just going to play a little bit and then that's fine. But this is yours. So that's going to be really cool. And this is the beginning of who knows what.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. And it's going to be a great day. There's a lot going on that day. So,
yeah. When I played with Damian, I played almost all of my originals.
Yeah.
I played a couple of covers. Yeah. When I played with Dallas, I played all my originals only.
Yeah.
And this one, I've had to make sure I've got plenty of covers.
Yeah.
And actually, we were talking about this the other night, Damian and I. And apparently, I'm the opposite of a lot of players out here. I feel more comfortable playing my originals than I do playing covers.
But
where a bunch of people tend to be the reverse.
And this town tends to, because I was at NM Vintage, and I felt like I got a bigger response from my originals than I did the covers, and people were recognizing some of the covers. And a couple of times, a couple of people were like looking at me like, "Oh my gosh," because I do play a few songs that are a little obscure that people don't remember. There's certain people that remember.
Right.
It's like I'm surprised when I see that they're singing along with me. So, but yeah, the List Town likes the original because every time I play original, they tend to get more of a response. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Now I know there's some artists that they played originals and they got really bad responses and they just don't play them anymore. And I really would encourage you guys, please try again especially at a different venue. There's a couple of places I would not feel totally comfortable playing a bunch of originals at, say, Blue Moon.
That's true.
Now I'm not going to be playing Blue Moon.
I am not playing. Yeah, I love it. We went to see CW and Long Hairs White and Red, and we decided to go check it out. We've never been there, and
it's nice, isn't it?
It's a great place, and we're driving up there. And my wife says, maybe this is a place you can talk to them about playing." We get there, we sit down, they start playing. My wife's looking at her going, "Yeah, you're not playing here.
No,
that is not going to happen.
You've got to know where you fit."
Yeah, and that would not be a fit.
No.
My thing is, NM Vintage. Right now it's NM Vintage and Don Felix this year. Those are the two places that I'm really playing, except for, I have one more show in Alamogordo, but that's it. But that's my fit.
Yeah.
I really think I fit in well there. And of course it's fun, but it's like, there's a couple places that I played and Not sure if that was comfortable. I don't know. It's like I off the top of my head, I can't remember. There was one place that I said, "Yeah, this I'm just not right for this."
And Blue Moon is one of those places. It's much more over the top.
Yeah, you got to be a band, or like Sage Gentlewing has played there.
He's played there. Daniel Sanchez has played there. But they bring more of a band feel, even though they're solo.
Yeah.
So
it's
to get up there with your guitar and your little guitar and play your little songs. Let me just put it that way. I don't know that it would be. I don't know how it would be received over there.
Yeah, I don't think it would work.
You'd have to be really well. Like I say, something like Daniel Sanchez or Sage, that they know how to play this stuff in such a way so that they're still getting dancers out.
Yeah.
It's not always so easy to get dancers out when you're just up there with a guitar.
Well, now when I played at Don Felix, there were a couple of little girls. They were like 2 and 4, and they were up and dancing and enjoying themselves while I was playing. So that was a lot of fun. It was great. I was so distracted too because they were just so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma got up and played and danced with them, and then Daddy got up and danced with them. It was so cute.
Yeah,
it was so much fun. I love that. I absolutely love that. So, and we were talking about so many things going on, so many places to play.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be, we'll see, but yeah, everybody finds that spot that works for them.
And we may be looking at some new venues opening up.
Really?
I know for one of those. I'm going to take care of that sound here in a sec.
That's okay. It's fine.
The old Harley Davidson building is now being used for events.
Yeah, they had
a gun show.
That's right. They had a gun show there, which I totally missed. I should have been there.
It was a little expensive to get in, so I didn't. Yeah, I think. Wow. Yeah, I think they were talking like, I want to say like around $40 a ticket.
Wow.
And I was like, oh no.
Oh wow, yeah. Because I mean, that's one thing in this town that I remember. There's 2 guys I know that alone they have enough guns to occupy Paris. I mean,
please.
It was like,
you're gonna make me make a French joke right now. Honestly, all you have to do is draw a gun on a piece of paper and you can occupy Paris. The number one. Never mind. Yeah. Let's not do a bunch of French jokes.
Well, you go do that. Let me just kind of put a break to this.
Yeah.
So I don't have my guitar or my book because my son was sleeping in my music room where my guitar and my book are, and I did not want to wake him up. So I'm like, okay, I'll just use his and do that.
I'm going to turn off my air conditioner.
All right.
That's what you're hearing all of a sudden.
If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you'd understand why I feel this way about our love, what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. This road less traveled, you got your reasons and you got your lies, you got your manipulations coming down to sight, saying you love but you don't, you give love but you won't. If you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you'd understand why I feel this way about our love, what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Ooh, that she loves me. Seems the road less traveled shows happiness unraveled, and you gotta take a little dirt to keep what you love. It's what you gotta do. Send your love, but you don't. You give your love, but you won't. searching out your love for something that's just not there. Save your love where you stand, give it hard when you care. If you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you'd understand why I feel this way about our love, what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Ooh, that she loves me. Saying you love, but you don't. You give it love, but you won't. It's in her eyes. Saying you love where you stand. Give it hard when you can. If you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you'd understand why I feel this way about our love, what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me.
Cool, man.
Yeah. That's one of the songs I played the first time I came on.
Yeah.
And I forgot. I got lost halfway through that one too.
Hey, whatever works.
I really say a couple of times during my when I was playing last week, it was like, oh, and halfway through the song, I'm thinking for some stupid reason, I'm thinking I should do the chorus again. No, I should, and realize I'm messing up. Don't try to change the song in the middle of it.
Yeah,
I gotta keep reminding myself of that.
So let's see.
All right.
What do we have going on? We've got some cool stuff going on this week.
A lot.
Including this Friday at Amaro, Callista is going to be playing out there.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be starting at 7:30. And yeah, she's getting ready to head back home to do a one show in, is it Montana she's from? I think so.
Yeah, I did not know. Montana? That does not strike me as.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to take a look and see. But yeah, she's kind of cool, and the Callista band is going with her, so that's kind of fun.
Cool.
Tonight, starting at 5:00 at Rio Grande Winery is going to be the Musicians Jam, basically open mic with Chris Baker and the MFB.
Yeah.
I'm considering going out there tonight. I haven't been able to make it yet, but I need to. I need to check them out. Let's see. CL Smith is going to be playing at DH Les Combs this Friday at 6. Flat Black is going to be in town at Little Toad Creek Saturday at 8. Really cool AC/DC band.
Oh, very cool.
CM Adams is going to be playing at Truth or Consequences Brewing here in Las Cruces this Sunday at 2. Yeah, you have to listen to us close when we talk about Truth or Consequences Brewing because same name, 2 places. One of them is actually in Truth or Consequences, and the other one's here, so it gets a little bit weird.
Here on Loman.
Let's see. Eli Cook? Really? That's kind of cool. Eli Cook is going to be playing at Rio Grande Theater this Friday at 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Real good blues artist. $20 admission? That ain't bad.
That's not bad.
Yes, a lot of the stuff I look at the price and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to that. That's too expensive. No, I'm not going to that. That's too expensive. $20 a person for a live concert, and this guy is good. Not bad deal at all. So yeah, that doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. That's on Friday. Of course, tomorrow night is open mic at Amaro.
Yes.
And I believe the guys are putting this up, so it may say. No, it sure doesn't.
Yeah.
I think it is Jaffe Ryder.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
There's going to be a rotation of a few guys that are going. There's going to be a rotation of them, and it was going to be Jaffe, Truman, CWA and myself. And it's going to be rotating each month.
Yeah.
And it's just started for the beginning, just to open it up. And like I played for like half an hour. That was cool. Dwight is pushing more his solo stuff. So he's getting more and more stuff put together. So he'll be playing out.
Right.
Dwight Dixon will be playing out pretty soon.
Yeah, and he started playing some of his solo stuff at the beginning of the night, which is kind of cool to see.
And then I joined them. It was really cool because it was a lot of fun because I played a few songs. I played a few of my originals by myself, and then Dwight and Red came up and we played a bunch of songs together, and that was a blast.
Oh yeah. Deltaphonic is going to be at Picacho Peak Brewing tomorrow at 7. And I found out that I was wrong. I've been telling people I've never been to Picacho Peak Brewing. I didn't know that that's where that was. It's the old the old winery next to the Pickwick on Picacho as you're heading out towards Picacho Hills.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's gorgeous in there. They do have some indoor meeting rooms and such now, but and I've been in those as well. But the neat thing is that there's the back, and all you can see from outside it is these lines of trees. Well, the trees are completely covering this internal patio that they have. Huge, beautiful manicured lawn, amazing stage.
That's cool.
And the sound in the whole place is just great. I've actually DJed weddings out there. I did not realize because it was going under a different name.
Right.
The Grapevine or something like that way back in the day. So yeah, I didn't realize that was Picacho Peak, but that's funny. So that side of town, man, we've got that. We've got the elephant bar right next to it, and weird.
Yeah, it's
a place that had nothing.
It's popping up everywhere.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff out there. If you go as far as up into Picacho Hills, they've got a new pizza place that's opened up. Love the name of it. Forget about it.
Yeah, that is a popular restaurant in Deming.
Yeah,
and they've expanded out to here,
and it's gorgeous inside. It smells really good. I haven't eaten there yet, but Rockabilly Strangers are going to be playing the duo at the Silo Bar in El Paso.
Cool.
You get a chance to hear them.
Yeah.
And by the way, as good as they are with a drummer, it's something special about listening to the two of those guys by themselves without a drummer. It shouldn't work. It should not work right.
Yeah.
And it really, really does. Of course, Boneyard Cantina is doing their brunch and Bloody Mary bar this Sunday at 10 a.m. And Amador Patio Bar and Grill is doing Amador Mimosa Market this Saturday at 11. Specialty mimosas will be available. $12 for a build your own mimosa bucket.
Wow.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Vendors, live music, drink specials, brunch food. Let's see. It's National Bubbly Day. That's why. So they're doing specialty mimosa cocktails. They're $12 mimosa bucket with your choice of 2 juices, so you can't go completely crazy.
Yeah.
Full brunch menu including bagels and lox, chicken and waffles.
Oh,
that's a good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Other brunch cocktails. Let's see. So they'll have local vendors out there on the Amador lawn, and DJ Neo Kid is going to be playing. I have never heard DJ Neo Kid. The DJ scene has changed a lot, and I haven't kept up. Let's see. Plaza de las Cruces is doing their first Friday Fine Arts Flea Market this Friday at 5 p.m. I believe this is basically what they used to. What were they calling it before? I don't remember. They had a different name, but they've been doing this for a while. They're going to have a custom car battle.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't list all that much stuff in specific about it. But
custom cars. That's
the downtown area is really cool down here. We've got some cool restaurants. And of course they're going to have vendors and such out there as well. And this is if you're looking for area art stuff that fits here, that's a real good thing to go to.
That's cool.
Let's see. Salsa night, of course, at Amara Winery this Saturday at 7:30.
Actually, that is not going to be the case. Oh, because that's when CW Aeon and Longhair is going to be playing.
Okay.
So
they're going to be changing that out.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything. But, you should really keep up on your announcements.
3 to 6. 3 to 6, Randy Lynch before CW.
Yeah.
This Saturday and tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm losing my days.
Yeah, I
know. Let's see. So this Friday, 6:15 to 7:45 on the plaza, in the downtown mall area. Creosote is going to be playing. It's a duo, Buddy Aiken and our friend that we've had on the show, Palter Kimball.
Oh yeah.
So you get a chance to hear them. They're fun. Especially Palter's just a blast, and I could watch him play all day because he plays like a maniac.
Yeah, and we got to bring him back on so he could tell us about his trip.
Oh yeah,
that is just insane. So
yeah, we were following the pictures all this time. Yeah, he
hiked the Appalachian Trail and he was gone for like 6 months doing that.
Yeah,
and that's like.
And
okay,
apparently,
I don't like doing an hour hike, and he's out there for 6 months. I don't know about that.
Well, and a lot of hikers normally they hitchhike parts of the way through to make it a little bit easier. This was in the height of COVID. There was no hitchhiking.
Yeah, so he got away from everybody.
Yeah. Oh, Sassy Grass Juice Bar and Lounge tomorrow at 6 p.m. is doing yoga on the backyard. Oh. They're getting their backyard area looking kind of nice.
That's cool.
It's cool. They get some artificial grass back there to make it a little nicer.
It out. It's going to be really cool. That's one of those. It's constant improvement. I've talked to the owners. He's a great guy, and he's like got a big vision. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Sleeping Beauty is going to be being performed at NMSU Center of the Arts if you want something a little bit different. That'll be Friday at 6:30. And I believe, that's the Verdi Academy of Dance is putting that on. And I don't know. I don't see. There's got to be an admission price for this. But I don't see it right here. But yeah, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, that's great.
That it's going to be going on. No, sorry. Friday, Saturday, and Saturday. I was like, well, that says June 4th both days. So Friday at 6:30 p.m. and then Saturday they'll be doing one at 1:30 and then one at 6:30 again. Okay, that makes sense. Who's coming out? Jacob Christopher is coming to Whiskey Dicks.
Oh.
Whiskey Dicks is going to start getting a little more active again.
Cool.
It's not always the easiest thing for Whiskey Dicks to be that active.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. I'm moving on.
I'm glad I did.
I'm moving on. We're not gonna go
going.
there. I love the name of that place, and I can say it without ever getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, unless I say it too much, in which case, who knows? What else do we? Summer Kids movie series is going on at Ellen Theaters, Centerport 10. You want to get there right now. It's about 21 minutes away. They're going to be playing Paw Patrol, the movie. So I'll see you guys later. I can't miss a Paw Patrol movie.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad my granddaughter didn't hear that.
What? You're going to get a phone call like right now.
I know.
I happen to be listening to the show. Let's see. I think that may be. Ooh, hello. I thought it was everything. However, there's some other fun stuff going on for your kids. Gym Magic Kids here in town. If you don't know, it's on 2341 Entrada del Sol. They're going to be doing an event on May 31st at 8 a.m. through June 3rd at 3 p.m. I don't know how constant it is. They are having Hogwarts Express Camp.
Okay.
Let's see. Welcome witches and wizards alike to Gem Magic School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. We're here to notify you that you've officially been accepted into our School of Magic, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, apparently it's 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day.
Wow.
Upon arrival, you shall receive your official acceptance letter. Cool. Thereafter, you'll make your way to the Great Gym, which is where the sorting ceremony shall begin. But first, you'll have to take to make a stop at Diagon Alley. Pronounce it correctly, especially if you're using a flu.
Yeah.
You don't want to say Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
You'll end up in the wrong place. Where you'll learn about wand making, how the wand in defense against the dark arts, charms, herbology, potions, and Muggle studies. After class, join us at Great Hall to make our very own butterbeer.
Oh my gosh, that is adorable. I love it.
He who shall not be named has hidden the Horcruxes at Gem Magic, and we need to find them before Lord Voldemort rises to power. Don't forget to behave, or you'll be receiving a howler from Mrs. Weasley herself.
Oh wow!
Feel free to bring a tiny pillow or your favorite blanket to popcorn and movie night. Pack a towel and swimwear on Tuesday and Thursday as we hit the pool for some fun. Get ready for our field trip Wednesdays as we either go to Peter Piper Pizza or Ellen Theaters. Not really mentioned much in the Harry Potter books, but they were in there.
Okay.
That's not all. Be sure to pack comfortable shoes, a hat, and sunscreen for LC's at the park on Friday. How awesome is that?
That is so cool. That is awesome.
I know it's for kids. I kind of want to go.
Can I tag along?
Doesn't it sound fun? I actually they just put it up on HBO Max, and I watched the other night the newest Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find the movie, the Secrets of Dumbledore.
Oh man!
And it's cool because right now you have Obi-Wan going on.
Yeah.
The young Dumbledore being played in these movies, Ewan McGregor.
Oh wow!
And he's really good in the role.
Oh man!
I enjoyed the movie a lot, and I've always kind of enjoyed the Hogwarts, the Harry Potter stuff. I got into it a little later. My sister and my dad were into it like crazy, and I finally I watched a couple of movies. These are good, and then I started reading the books. These are really good.
Yeah, and
they keep getting better and better as the age group gets older.
I remember I started reading the books. I had a flight back when I was back in the day, and then it was the third book that came out, and I borrowed it from my son so that I could take it on the plane.
Yeah,
and I read it, and I finished it when I got back because it was really good, and it's before the third movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started reading the books as they came out, and it was just I used to say I'll wait for the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that series got people reading again.
Yes.
She single-handedly got kids reading again.
J.K. Rowling is a goddess, if for no other reason than that. I went to a couple of the release parties that they did for the last two books, and wow, to see kids excited to get a book.
Yeah.
To see kids getting the book when it came available after midnight. And some were there with their parents. Some had been dropped off by their parents. So, they were there.
Yeah.
And nobody was in a hurry to leave because they had functions going on for a long time until like 1:30 in the morning.
They're reading the book right there.
They opened the book right there.
They're like in line to pay for it, and they're reading it.
Yeah.
I remember when Order of the Phoenix came out.
Mm-hmm.
That book it was funny because I remember they talked about it. They said, listen to this. Order of the Phoenix, in its first weekend released, outsold the top 3 movies combined that weekend. I was like, a book outsold 3 movies. I thought, wow. And then you go to see the movies and you're looking around, it's like everybody already knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is what everybody there.
You're basically there to see how they're going to be true and what they're going to change.
How is it going to? Because I remember I was so excited to see the Goblet of Fire because I thought, how are they going to make this into a 2-hour movie?
Yeah,
because that book was huge. There was so much going on, and that they could have made 3 movies out of that book.
Yeah,
because there was so much going on. It was brilliantly done. I mean, it was just funny I keep thinking about that. A book outsold.
Oh yeah,
3 movies. It was amazing,
and it was funny because, of course, there's the book and the movie where, sorry if you haven't seen it or read it yet, you've had many years to do this.
It's too late.
Where Dobby dies.
Yeah,
and for those who'd only watched the movies, hadn't read the books, they're like, oh, well, that's kind of sad. and everybody else is in tears.
Yeah,
because in the books they flesh his character so much more. And it was neat to watch people who were sitting there saying, "You need to read the books, man."
Yeah, because Dobby had a huge role in the fourth book.
Oh yeah,
and he had such a great role, like because everybody knows he got that sock that he got clothed to make him. So he was obsessed with clothes. So apparently Dobby was walking around with socks on his ears, a new shirt. He had like 3 shirts on. He was like obsessed with clothes because he got to wear them all the time. And he actually started working at Hogwarts. That's what. So he got to see the kids and everything, and it was just fun. So
and they left all that out of the movie.
Yeah, because it was just too much.
Yeah,
because there was a whole other thing where Hermione was trying to liberate.
Yeah, she became an abolitionist, basically.
But the elves were pissed at her. It's like, shut up. We like what we got here. That was a whole funny thing.
Oh, yeah.
So when Dobby did die, you could tell who read the book because they were just devastated.
Yeah.
Even though you knew he was going to die and he died and everybody was still devastated. It was so funny.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of this weird little phenomenon to this day.
Yeah.
It's not really it's eased off as far as you're not seeing this people lining up to read the books.
Right.
They're still reading the books a lot, but they've been out, so it's not as big a deal. You're not seeing a big anything that you can notice. But it's happening, and of course they've got the new movies. They did HBO Max has it up on their site. They did a special going back 20 years later to Hogwarts, and a bunch of the stars that are still alive that were up there and taking part in this. And there's a conversation between Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley, and Emma, who played Hermione,
Emma Watson.
And I went blank on her last name, so I just figured I'll just act like I know her well.
That's all right. I got you back.
They're talking to each other, and Emma Watson was almost in tears. You'll be in tears watching that because just watching their interaction and them talking about how they feel about each other is just huge.
Because they basically grew up together, for so many years, and a lot of you look at it and they did. You look at the first movie, and they're just. My daughter,
they're little bitty kids.
They're babies. And funny because my daughter, who's not much older than them, but she said that I remember before the 8th movie came out, her church group, they got together for a weekend and started with 1 and got all the way up. And then the following weekend, they went to the movie. So, but they said they watched the first one. They go, "Oh my God, they're just babies," and you see them grow. So it's really interesting. And then Emma Watson played in the movie Noah, and she was a completely different character, and she was brilliant, though. She was very good.
Yeah, she really is. Actually, all 3 of those kids have done amazing with their careers.
Yeah, I love the story of Daniel Radcliffe. My favorite story that he tells is when he was doing a Broadway play. And paparazzi, he couldn't understand that. And they were out there all the time. So somebody gave him an idea, and he decided he bought this outfit, 3 versions of that, he bought 3 out, the same outfit, 3 copies of it. And he wore the same outfit every day. So when he walked in, and took it. So after about almost a week, it was like useless. Because nobody was like, they already, that's not him. That's the first, and it totally calmed everything down. And he was like, wow, it works. I'm like, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, how about this? I actually found a back door into getting some nerdy stuff on the show today.
There you go. You did. You did.
And by the way, Rupert Grint has done a lot of kind of under the radar movies that are just so good.
You don't hear about much from him, but apparently he's been very busy.
Yes, and he does really good movies.
And it's like he's kept it. It's not like that's all I could get. No, it's
what he wants
that way. He wanted to do it that way. The blockbuster thing, he'd done that. Now he just wanted to enjoy himself and do some low level movies, and he's been doing great. And
Daniel Radcliffe has done a bunch of movies that have gotten critical acclaim.
Independent movies that he's gotten a lot of.
Yeah,
he's about to be. Oh man, what is it that's coming out that
he's going to be Weird Al?
Yeah.
Yeah. How weird is that?
I was like, wait a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Got to see that.
We will see. I did not recognize him until they flashed his name up on the screen during the trailer. So we'll see how that works out. He was in a movie called Horns. It was amazing. Um, what was it? Swiss Army Man that he was in. That was disturbing, but really good. When you're sitting there playing a corpse and doing it really well through an entire movie, I mean, wow. This was not Bernie. This was something totally different. And he's actually just done a movie that's now up on Amazon Prime, their streaming service. It was in theaters, The Lost City, with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Wow.
Both of whom really impressed me. I couldn't believe I was impressed by Channing Tatum, but he's done some really good stuff lately. And I saw some interviews with Radcliffe with Sandra Bullock, and he has trouble making eye contact with her during the interviews because he is so starstruck by her. He actually admitted it. And she's like, cool. Really? She's like, that's
cool.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That is really cool.
So he was sitting there telling himself, don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid. He did not want to embarrass himself in front of somebody that he idolized. So, So Hogwarts Express Camp.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
It. That is going to be awesome.
So, I don't know. If I put on a beanie and some short pants, do you think I could get away with passing as a kid?
No.
No. You're so damn negative. And you don't even think about it. You're just immediately negative. Oh my God. Rio Grande Winery is doing their sip and paint. That'll be tomorrow at 6:30. Bright Butterfly is what they're going to be doing. Cool. I'm waiting for them to do box. I'll go ahead and get in there when they do box. I can probably paint a box.
Oh, there you go.
Probably.
Yeah, no.
So,
although like I said, I don't draw. I'm not an artist. I do things with colors and abstract stuff on nails. But I went to a sip and paint, and I actually was impressed with what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually impressed.
I've heard that from several people, and it's like, okay.
Well, we were at Amaro when the people from Sip and Paint came out, and my wife looked at one lady and says that she goes, "That is really good," and the lady looked at what I know, and I did it.
Memorial Medical Center is doing an event. That doesn't come up very often.
No.
Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Cancer Survivors Day celebration.
Oh, cool.
How awesome is that?
That is awesome.
And they are doing a Mardi Gras style masquerade.
There you go.
Celebrate with us. Memorial Medical Center invites our brave cancer survivors and their loved ones to this masquerade-themed event in the Annex conference rooms A and B. For more information, contact Christina or Lynn, 575-521-6727. Sorry, no refreshments will be provided and face masks are required. Well, it is the hospital.
Yeah, and that's something we're celebrating.
So that's awesome.
That is great.
We all know somebody that's gone through that.
Yeah.
Telshore 12 this evening at 7 p.m. Is doing their Movies We Love series.
Cool.
Ho, ho, ho. I may have to be reminded of the French names for different hamburgers. Pulp Fiction.
There we go.
How awesome is that?
That's cool.
Now today, also at 3:15 p.m., I'd even be more tempted to do this. This is at Alamo Drafthouse in El Paso. They are doing their kids camp. They will be playing Minions.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, suddenly we're gonna try and fit in as kids to go see this stuff.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that. I love the mini movies. They're awesome. They're so much fun.
Alamo Drafthouse is awesome. I know it's a city away, but barely. And the ticket prices for this is $5 a person.
That's cool.
So yeah. Alamo Drafthouse is just very, very cool. It's a fun place, and they do fun things with some of their movies. But man, just to see Minions on the big screen again.
I remember I had a friend of mine whose son was in that babbling stage and loved to talk and just and I like one time I didn't understand what he was doing, but he was real serious about it. And I looked at her, I looked at him, and went, "Okay, Kevin."
I have a friend that I met her through my political stuff. That she actually lives on the East Coast, and she's been on my radio show several times. Great thing about technology, man. But we were messaging something on a Facebook message back and forth, and I put up a minion emoji or something, just being a smart aleck. And she says, "Okay, don't laugh at me and don't make fun of me. But what is that? I think it's like something Disney." And I says, "Oh."
Wow.
I says, "That's a minion." Says it's not Disney.
Yeah.
And I immediately went to the store, and of course they had several of the movies for cheap. I bought the DVDs for Despicable Me 1 and 2 were out, and they also had the little collected thing with all the Minions mini movies. And I shipped that over to her, and about a week later, she's so obsessed with Minions. To this day, she's obsessed with Minions. So
not hard.
She's actually a published author.
Oh.
Yeah, Jessie Brote.
Oh, okay.
She's got her first book out, and it is selling amazingly well.
That's great.
And when she goes to her signings, I did send her as a birthday present one year a stuffed minion. It's about like this. She loads him into the car with her. She seat belts him in, and he goes with her.
That's funny.
So yeah, if you want to try something different. Las Cruces Community Theater is going to be holding auditions this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. For Nonsense. And I don't know which one this will be. It looks like it might be going back to the first original Nonsense story. It's funny. It's really funny. It's basically following a bunch of nuns in a convent school, I think, if I remember right. And it's a musical, so yes, they want singers. It's a lot of fun. There's some cool work, some cool stuff in there. They've got a bird cage that's supposed to got a bird, and I think they keep it covered most of the time because you don't want to put a bird on a stage. And they've got a sign under it that lists out what the bird name is, and it says Titwillow, except the first 3 letters are crossed out. It's
oh boy,
it's fun. It's really well done. My aunt, when she was alive, was in several of those. They performed at the community theater, and they were fun.
That's cool.
They were a lot of fun. It's they're gonna have a 3-hour audition for that. Basically, go out there, have something prepared. You don't have to be super prepared. I got forced into auditioning one year for one of them because I was there with a girl I was dating and her daughter was trying out, and they had a lack of people to try out. So they were like, "Anybody else want to sing?" And then I got shoved up there.
That's funny.
Thank God I was not in there because no.
Yeah. That's how my son got into show choir. He went to the auditions to support a friend of his, and there was some girls that were up there, auditioning, and then the director said, "Well, come on up, everybody." And so my son is like, "Hey, maybe I can get a name and talk to him a little bit." So that's all he went up there for, and next thing you know, he's in show choir.
Yeah. Huh.
Dad, I think I got it. I think I got in. What? Yeah.
It sounds kind of like Truman Provincia when he says stuff like, I think I accidentally joined a metal band.
Yeah, I accidentally joined a metal band. I was like, okay.
I'm like, seriously, dude. Let's see. This Saturday, 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and also Sunday, starting at 4 p.m. 2022 Miss New Mexico USA and Miss New Mexico Teen USA at the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Museum here in town.
That's cool.
Usually they do that up in Albuquerque, but I guess we beat out those northerners. About time we beat them out at something.
There's a lot of people from Albuquerque. We got a lot of musicians from Albuquerque coming down here because apparently it's gotten a little unsafe for people up there. So kind of made the trek down here.
Yeah. Prelims will be on June 4th at 8 p.m. Finals on June 5th at 4 p.m. So that's kind of cool. And maybe we've actually run out of stuff this time. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to talk about what's going on in Juarez. We're not going to go to Juarez.
Nope.
Ooh, Shogun Assassin is going to be playing at Alamo Drafthouse today at 7:30.
Wow.
That'd be almost worth making the run. Right now at Zia Comics, when they open at noon, so not right now, don't go down there now. Okay. You'll be sitting in line with your nose pressed against the glass, is New Comic Book Day. Let's see. Yeah. God. You need to go to the page for Alamo Drafthouse because they've got movies coming up. The kids camp, the movies they're doing regular. They're going to be playing Space Jam. They're going to be playing The Watcher. Review Starlight, which is an anime movie. To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar with a brunch.
That's cool.
Egg BLT, French toast, or breakfast tacos. And pair with a brunch cocktail classic like Desert Spring Water or the Italian 75.
Oh, wow.
Elite Manhattan drag queens, Vita Boheme. Vita Boheme, Patrick Swayze, Noxema Jackson, Wesley Snipes, impressed regional judges in competition, along with the brand new one, Chichi Rodriguez, John Leguizamo. If you've never seen To Wong Fu, it is so worth watching.
Yeah, it's really...
It's disturbing to watch Patrick Swayze. He's not great as a woman.
They're drag queens. It's a show about drag queens.
Yeah, he's very matronly and still looks like Patrick Swayze, but creepily Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo. Oh my God, it's creepy how good they are at it, considering that's not what they do.
No, that's funny.
And it's a cute little movie, and Julie Newmar is in it at the end. So, I just think she's awesome. And I think there we go.
Okay.
Everything else looks like it's El Paso, so we're not going to go into that. We don't do a lot of El Paso because that involves driving, and who likes to drive?
Exactly. Nowadays, especially.
I'm just so tired. I'm tired all the time.
Okay, so it's your turn.
For what?
To play.
Oh, I think we ran out of time. Isn't it 10 o'clock?
No, we didn't. Gosh. No, we got plenty of time.
Damn
your
it.
Turn.
Damn it. I don't know.
Get used to it, dude.
I don't want to. Do you know that I actually had a day that I was wondering if I could actually fit a good amount of clothes into a sheet and tie it to a stick and just run away from home? I was like, if I just don't show up and I'm just gone from town forever, people wouldn't get too mad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, family would get a little upset with me because, I'd be gone. I've been trying not to freak too much, but I've been freaking a little bit.
And like that, you're going to be like that just right up until you start to play.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny. The first time I played, I got, I did it like a free gig at this brand new place that opened up, gosh, about 3 years ago. And I was just trying to, get a chance to play and do something on, instead of just sitting in my room. And so this, I can't afford to pay. I said, that's okay. Let me play and we'll, help each other out and stuff. So I get up there and I get my guitar and I, haven't performed in, gosh, almost, 15, 16 years. And I'm like itching to do it. And then I stand there and so here I was excited about it. I wasn't nervous at all. But as soon as I was about to go, I thought to myself, I have never done this. I have never played guitar and sang by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so for about 30 seconds, I did freak out just a little bit because I realized this is the first time I'm ever, and it didn't hit me the whole time I was preparing. The whole time I was getting ready to go, I got, buying all this. I mean, it's like you think that when you have to buy your own PA system and figure out how to set it up and how you want to set it, and you think you've never done this. And I didn't. So for about 30 seconds, I freaked out.
Yeah.
And, I just remember that going, I've never done this.
It happens. And it happens to everybody. Yeah. I wish he would put it up online because I forgot about it until you mentioned that. Damian Luna is actually playing on Saturday.
Oh.
Later in the afternoon, he's going to try and come out and catch part of my show before he has to play. He's very nervous. And
where is he at?
I believe he's going to be at Don Felix.
Oh, okay.
And he was talking to me about this. And the problem with Damian is that sometimes he thinks stuff that he doesn't say. So
I had the opposite problem.
Well, he's sitting there talking to me and says, "Yeah, I'm really nervous because this is going to be the first time I played 3 hours." And I was like, "What?"
Oh, that's right. Because usually,
Wait a minute,
come and join him.
Well, the thing is, I'm like, "Wait a minute, no. You must have played 3 hours somewhere." And he says, "Oh yeah, I've played 3 hours before." I was like, "What did you just tell me?" And he's like, "Oh, it's the first time I'm playing a 3-hour show that's all country."
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, this is new for him."
Yeah.
Kind of. He's really good at it.
That's yeah.
I've been really impressed with the stuff he's been doing.
Yeah, I've been really getting into country, and my response didn't even think why.
I can tell you why.
Yeah, it was hearing you.
It's me.
Yeah, he said, well, with him coming and he was playing some stuff, and I just totally got into it. I was like, again, why?
Well,
wow, you're not. And it was funny because my son finally asked me, Dad, because he said he had a song and he wanted to play in the car, and I said, just not country. And he goes, okay, Dad, I got to ask you, why the problem with country? I said, my ex-wife loved country, and I had to listen to it all the time. And he goes, oh, gotcha.
Oh well, you've covered a country song now. So.
I have, but it doesn't sound country when I do it.
I don't care; it still counts.
Which people liked when I played it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
we were actually talking about that the other day, that we've played those songs back to back with each other, and they're so different.
My wife thought he's playing country, but yours version is the one that sounds depressing. That was funny.
Your wife doesn't pull too many punches.
No, that's why I'm like, when she says, I like that, when I write my songs, and she goes, I like that. I'm like, she's telling the truth. Yeah. She's not just saying it because she's my wife, because if it sucks, she'll tell me.
Oh, yeah.
She was nice the other day when I started playing with something and I didn't quite have it, and she heard me do it. She goes, okay, that needs work. I said, it's not done. I'm still figuring it out. She goes, well, good, but because it needs work.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Go for it.
Okay. My volume is not too bad. Yeah, this is the thing that's kind of creeping me out about this weekend, is mixing my own sound as I go. So I'll have something visual in front of me, and that'll be about it. There we go. Yeah, suddenly got louder. I was like, oh, that's not right. Okay. So, yeah, my newest one that I actually played for the first time publicly at open mic the other night. I don't know if I played it on here before, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. It's called Chasing Stardust. Katie grabs a guitar. You can tell that she's a star. The whole time she plays her song, she just starts to glow, and you can tell that she knows it feels too good to be wrong. So she keeps moving on. She's chasing stardust with the music that she trusts, never gonna leave and never let her down. She's chasing stardust, and knowing that she must give in to that light. Keep reaching for the light. Billy can't stay away. He's got that need to play. Get on the stage again, on his own with the band, that guitar's in his hand, giving balance to his way, on a path where he can't stray. He's chasing stardust with the music that he trusts, Never gonna leave him, never let him down. He's chasing stardust, and knowing that he must give into that light. Keep reaching for that light. And I watch them up there, I can't help but stare, 'cause I wanna do that too. I got so much to say, and that seems like the way for me to clear the air. Bare my soul if I dare, chasing stardust with the music that I trust. Never gonna leave me, never let me down. Chasing stardust, and knowing that I must give into that light. Keep reaching for the light. They say you can't, you won't. They say you won't go far, but you know what they don't. You got fire in your heart, and you won't let you stop. Chasing stardust with the music that you trust. Never gonna leave you, never let you down. Chasing stardust, and knowing that you must give into that light. Keep reaching for that light. And chasing stardust with the music that you trust. Never gonna leave you, never let you down. Chasing stardust, and knowing that you must give into that light. Keep reaching for the light.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And yes, I had to add in that.
Yeah, there you go.
I got to show off the little
It's
12
just
string.
so pretty.
I'm so happy.
You know, it's good when a 6-year-old looks at you and go, "That guitar is really nice." And I'm like, of course,
Yeah.
my granddaughter Chloe comes in and looks at, "Why do you have so many guitars?" I'm like, "Okay, don't start that."
You just have to explain to her, technically speaking, comparatively speaking,
Yeah.
not that many.
I know. But yeah, that's really good. And that's a song you've been working on for a while, but you were waiting to make sure that everybody was okay.
Yeah.
Even though nobody knows who that's about.
No, but there's a couple people that I mentioned by names. It's just not by names that most people know them
Yeah,
by.
exactly. So that was perfect.
So,
that was great.
But and the thing is, it's not specifically about those two people, because they're only two people of a bunch of people who have inspired me as I've gone along.
That's cool.
Everybody's inspired me in totally different ways, because every musician in this town is different.
Yeah,
and it's part of what I love about it.
Different reasons for doing what we're doing. I mean, for me, it's that addiction that I have to satisfy.
Yeah.
There are some guys that's their day job. That's their job. That's what they're doing, to support themselves.
Mhm.
So that's a different motivation for them, to where if I don't play for a few weeks, it's like, no big deal. But I'll play soon. So I'm okay with it. Where other guys, if they go a few weeks, that's not good.
Right.
So it depends,
Mhm.
I think it's really cool that you bring out that idea that there's so many people get so many reasons to do this.
Yeah. Well, as I was writing this, I'm putting this thing together, and there's some lines that just aren't working. One of them is in that bridge,
Yeah.
where I'm talking about, but you know what they don't, and it's like, okay, I know the way it sounds. I know the chords. I know the notes for the next part.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that they know that nobody else knows. And then I realized, no, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So it depends on why you play, what your reasoning is, how you get through it, because there are people that they are chasing fame. There are people that they're chasing that feeling of just being up there playing.
Yeah.
There's people that are dealing with some issues that it's their therapy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anybody like that.
Right.
Yeah, like I could hide that with every one of my songs.
Yeah.
I've written one song that actually is fun and silly all the way through.
Yeah.
Even my upbeat songs are still kind of downers. So, which, by the way, I've changed up that one. So if you come out on Saturday to tomorrow, I'll be playing the new version of that.
Cool. Very cool. And it's funny because I have that one song that was inspired. I told my wife I wrote it, with her in mind for her.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I went to say what that song was, I couldn't remember what I named it. And my wife and I were in a discussion, and I thought to myself, I should just call it Kathy's song.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I did that, I kind of felt like this. I can remember that easy. It's like every time, oh, Kathy's song. It's like before. It's like, wait, what? My song, and I can't remember what the name of it is. Yeah. So it's like you have different motivations, different reasons. That one, that song. Each song has something. I have one song that I was trying to write lyrics for, and I couldn't find any. I was like, for 2 days, I'm like trying to figure it out. And all of a sudden, I went, I'm going to make this a blatant Christian song.
Mm-hmm.
That's what and all of a sudden everything came to me immediately. And I had that song written in a little over an hour. So it's like everybody has that, motivation and that drive and that idea. So you should talk to other musicians about what made you do this.
Oh yeah.
So
because everybody's got a totally different approach. You were basically hung up on one song that you were trying to write for forever.
6 years.
Mm-hmm. And you weren't a writer because you couldn't finish a song.
I was like, I had a chorus, and then I thought, what? But I kept in the back of my head was, well, you're not a songwriter. You're not going to actually write this song. I mean, it's cute that you made this little ditty, but and it turned into one of my Christian songs, and it's really cool. I enjoy doing it.
And I've noticed the stuff that you've been writing since you started writing, and are now a songwriter.
Yeah.
You couldn't have written those 10 years ago.
No.
They are all very specific to where you are in your life now.
Yeah, with experience I've had in the last 10 to 20 years, but still, it's like, our marriage, it was hilarious. At Vintage sat down, and the guy sees Kathy and goes, "Have you heard him before?" She goes, "Yeah, a few times." And he says, "What kind of music does he do?" And she talks and says, "Yeah, he does a little bit of this." He goes, "Wow, you," and he does some originals that are really good too. And he goes, "Wow, you know a lot about him." She goes, "Well, I've been married to him for 20 years, so I know a little bit." And he was like, "Oh, okay." So it's like, and when I play the songs, when I write Kathy sees the lyrics, she goes, "Okay," and she knows exactly what I'm talking about, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I always had the thing. I told my son, I said, "Man, we should have got the state to designate our house as an insane asylum." And he was sitting there shaking his head, going, "Dad, that's the perfect description for it."
Yeah.
Because and all that is coming out in what I'm doing now. So yeah, I think, man, why couldn't I write this when I was in my 20s?
Yeah.
None of this could have been written in my 20s. None of it.
Well,
my 30s.
You hadn't lived it. How could you know it?
Oh yeah. So. It's like, how do you, how much experience do you have at, so.
Yeah. Anybody, not to diminish this, but anybody can write a song about something that's a real common shared thing. Because if a bunch of people have experienced it, yeah. But when you get into the stuff that you've experienced, yes, other people have experienced similar stuff, so you got that connection.
Yeah.
But this is specific to you.
Yeah.
And that's part of what scares a lot of people about writing that way, is because you're being very, very exposed.
Yeah.
And not in the you're not allowed back into Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I didn't like Chuck E. Cheese that much anyway. And
not Paul Rubin exposed, but
that mouse was asking for it. So it's not like it was,
Gave me an attitude.
Yeah. But no, it's a lot of exposure that you're basically bearing your soul to people and seeing how they take it.
And there's a lot of, you look back and there's a lot of music like that,
Mhm.
whereas they spoke about something. I mean, I still remember Eric Clapton getting a Grammy for Tears in Heaven. And the first thing he said, I wrote this song to heal myself.
Mhm.
I had no intention of anybody else hearing it.
Right.
And then the world loved it because it was so open
Yeah.
and expressive. And a lot of people that, can relate to that, unfortunately. And, so it was for them too. So it's just amazing. You don't know what's going to happen. I'll never forget when I was playing in church, and I had a bunch of songs that I, covered from different Christian bands, and I would pick a song and I would play, at service. And I had one song that I've been working on all week, and when I went to rehearse it on Sunday, I couldn't play it. It just could not do it. So I flipped through my book and said, "Let me play something else and warm up." And it was a song that I hadn't played in 3 months, and I nailed it first try. And I said, "You know what? I'm just going to play that one." And then after I did that, after the service, someone came up to me and she goes, "Wow, thank you for doing that. That song really spoke to me. It really got me thinking about some things." And I went, "Wow. Okay, so that wasn't me choosing the song. That was God telling me you need to do this song." So that after that, I didn't plan any songs. I'd learn new ones, but I'd always flip through the book and go, "Oh, I'm going to do this one." And that's,
Yeah.
So you never know what you like. Here's someone else's song that affected somebody through me. So that was really cool. So then when you write a song and, you play it for the person you were thinking of and she's in tears, that's good.
Oh yeah. It's always a plus if you can make somebody cry.
I played it the first time live at in a vintage I did last month, and my wife had her phone up and she recorded the first 2 songs. I wanted to do that song. She started playing, she was about to record me doing it, and she looked at the lady that we were with, she goes, "I can't do it." And she sat there and she couldn't keep her composure. She's getting better, but she only got a little teary-eyed last time that she heard it. So she's getting better to where it's,
Yeah, and emotional reactions are nice. I've seen some people tear up at some of mine. I have a friend that goes back and forth between being very enthusiastic and being irritated with one of mine. You know who you are.
Oh yeah, I love you, girl. That is so funny.
So it is what it is. Sorry, I write what's there. And the truth is, there's a whole other area of my life I haven't written anything about yet. It's not easy for me to go into. I'm working into that area, but it's a little harder than I thought it would be. There's some real painful stuff there that I haven't dealt with. So get ready for some more pain songs.
I do the song. It's been a while, and I mean, the lyrics are really cool, and I couldn't figure out what it was about. And then I had someone tell me, "Oh, he wrote it about a friend of his who committed suicide." And I went, "Oh," and I went back and looked at it, and I saw how he did it. It wasn't obvious, but I saw that and it was really cool. And then every time I do that song now, I think about a friend of mine from high school who, within a couple of years after high school, she committed suicide, and that really. So every time I do it, I think of her. You don't know how it's gonna affect somebody, even after a while, or some memories from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But and it's one of those things you got to get it out there.
Yeah.
And once you do, it makes it helps you. But then it's out there, and there'll be somebody else that's going to hear that at some point, and it's going to connect with them too, and hopefully in a positive way or in a negative way, depending on who it is and how you feel about them. And there's some people that I want to hear some of my songs and be all sorts of torn up because they deserve that. Yeah. I'm a real nice guy.
Not bitter at all, but okay. It's good though.
You know what? Maybe that'll be my next song. I'll just title it "Not Bitter."
I actually sat there and thought, maybe I should, write a song about my first marriage. And I'm like, why do you want to go there? I'm like, no, let's not go there. And Kathy said, you should write a song about our marriage. And I said, they already wrote that one. They're coming to take me away, ho ho. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha, to the funny farm. And it's like that. They already wrote that song.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things. Be aware if you're in a relationship with a songwriter. Be aware if you're asking them to write something that involves you, involves your relationship.
Be careful what you ask for,
because songwriting is a very honest thing.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to come out. And even if it's a great relationship, not everything in the relationship is great. And that not great stuff that maybe you don't want people to know so much about could actually come out to the forefront. And there's not much you can do once it does. So be careful with that, guys. I'm lucky right now that I think the woman that is involved in a bunch of my songs. Mm-hmm. It's not a part of my life. Doesn't hear any of this stuff. Yeah. Doesn't know that it's going on. She barely knows that I even play guitar now.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah, it's funny. I wrote a song about called it Again, and basically it talks about all the things that my wife and I have been through.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, basically I just say, but I do it all. But even knowing what I know now, I do it all again.
Mm-hmm.
So I play that and I look at my wife and she just looks at me and goes, would you really?
Be careful.
I was like, oh my gosh, that was a touching song. She goes, yeah, are you sure?
Yeah, and that's where you're like, be careful. Oh, I'll do a rewrite. And I'll change the name of the song. What was I thinking?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. So I've played a song, so I think you should play another song.
But I already played one, so it's your turn.
But then I played one, and you played one.
Okay.
So no, don't play that game with me. Don't gaslight me. Who do you think you are? We're not married. You can't gaslight me.
Bury me in this precious boat. Give this part of me for you. Sand rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tub. Down in a hole and I don't know if I could be saved. See my heart, I decorate it like a grave. Don't understand who they thought I was supposed to be. But look at me now, I'm a man who won't let himself be. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Down in a hole, feeling my soul. I like to fly, but my wings have been so denied. Down in a hole and they put all the stones in their place. I've eaten the sun so my tongue has been burned up the flame. I have been guilty of kicking myself in the teeth. I will see no more of my feelings beneath. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Down in a hole, feeling so small. I like to fly, one sort of night. I give this part of me for you. Santa rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tub. Of all the lines to forget, it's the opening line. I could not remember what the heck the words are for that first line. Everything else fine, but couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, that's a depressing song. Why do you play that song?
That song kind of grabbed me when I was going through a very dark time.
Mm-hmm.
I played that a lot, and it just helped.
Yeah.
At that time, so I keep playing it because it reminds me of that dark time that I do not want to go back to.
Yeah.
And so my wife asked me, "Why do you play that song?" I said, "Just a reminder where I don't want to go back." So
yeah.
Like, okay. Just like when I play "You Wanted More." Does that mean anything? No, it doesn't mean anything. I just like the vocals of it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of songs that when I was going through a dark time, they hooked in. It's just that my dark time was from about age 1 till today. I came out of the womb wearing goth makeup, and
oh gosh, yeah,
maybe not. How about this for a cute little story? Since we don't have any guests today,
that's true, huh?
I like inventions.
Okay.
I think it's kind of neat when people start doing some inventions. And there are four engineering students from Johns Hopkins University. This is a story from CNN. 4 U.S. Engineering students were brainstorming the perfect invention for their product design course. Got to come up with something for those courses. When lunch inspiration literally fell into their laps. Quote, Erin was eating a burrito and the tortilla opened up all over her, one of the 4, Tyler Guarino, told CNN. It hit her then. This is a problem that we can solve. Well, first of all, gringo, learn how to roll a burrito. You won't have that problem. But okay, you're back east.
Dude, whenever we make, to this day, we make burritos at home and my wife will put all the stuff on a burrito and then slide her plate over to me, fold it for me.
Uh-huh. So Tyler Guarino, Aaron Walsh, Marie Eric, and Rachel Nile were seniors at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. I don't know where they found a burrito in Baltimore.
Exactly.
It may not have been a burrito.
Yeah.
When they embarked on their mission to create an edible tape that could hold wraps and burritos together. Today, they have created Tasty Tape.
Oh.
So the team spent months studying normal tape and the elements it consists of, a backbone that holds its structure together, and an adhesive that makes it stick to surfaces to try to find their edible counterparts. This is actually very impressive.
That is great. That is very impressive.
Yeah. So they had 3 main criteria for the tape. It needed to be clear and colorless, have no taste, and no noticeable texture.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
After testing various combinations, they hit on the magic recipe, which is also gluten-free and suitable for vegans.
That is amazing.
Yeah. We tested about 50 different formulations before finding the winning Tasty Tape recipe, Guarino says. Exact recipe is, of course, a closely guarded secret because they're patenting it.
That's good.
But they say that it's everything used is edible, food safe, generally recognized as safe, and are common food ingredients or additives. There are 3 simple steps to using Tasty Tape. The first is peeling a strip from the wax paper sheet. Next is wetting it to activate the tape before finally applying it to your tightly wrapped tortilla with pressure. The team's current prototype consists of tape strips on wax paper, but they also hope to package it on a roll like ordinary office tape.
That would be so cool.
On Monday, the team graduated from college, with Garino expressing how Tasty Tape's journey to date has been really exciting. Quote, "We learned so much about product design, prototyping, and patenting. We are all really grateful that we had this opportunity before we graduated, as it has taught us so many valuable skills." She added that she and her teammate Marie Eric would be staying on another year at Johns Hopkins to complete a master's, and in that time, we'll continue working on the project. So they graduated, they've got the experience, and they have a patented, a soon-to-be patented product that, quite frankly,
so cool.
I think
I can think
could do very well.
I think I can think of many places in California, and one or two here. I'm not going to say who they are. There's two reasons why they don't wrap a burrito. There's some places here that just fold it over. They don't try to do the whole wrap thing.
Right.
One, the only good reason is that they put so much in it, they can't.
If you go,
that is excusable.
Get a burrito at Santa Fe Grill.
Yes.
You better be careful, because they do not skimp.
But sometimes they don't. I got a couple of guys that are there, and they wrap it perfectly every time. It's awesome. But then there's some places that they just roll it over because they can't fold it.
Yeah.
And there's not that much in there.
And
so this stuff, you have to eat it with a knife and fork because it just falls out. But that is a great idea.
Isn't that neat?
That is a great idea. I love it.
I saw this article come up at first, and I rolled my eyes and said, "Oh God, this is so stupid." And it's like, wait a minute, it's really not.
No.
And
at first you'll think about it, then you think a little bit more like, there's some places that just, I don't know what it is. They either use cheap tortillas that fall apart. They don't roll it right. They roll it too. And
it's not just tortillas either.
That's true.
Because colorless, flavorless, no texture. You could use it on just about anything.
Yeah.
One of the things that has always kind of creeped me out a little bit about going to a lot of sandwich places, especially where they really load your sandwiches, is the toothpick thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if you could take, each piece and just kind of put a couple pieces of tape on it instead.
Just tape it over and keep it. That's so cool.
So yeah, I'm kind of freaked out by the whole toothpick thing. I'm like, really? And I'm like, make sure that, I don't know. Yeah.
Mitch Hedberg does a great bit about the club sandwich. And he talks about that part. He goes, "I didn't join the club. I don't know if I can have this."
I know my mom, when I was younger, would make tacos, and occasionally she'd get tired of messing with them if the tortillas weren't actually doing what they were supposed to in the grease. So she'd take toothpicks and stick it in there to keep them all together.
Yeah.
And there were a couple times the toothpicks got misplaced, and you had to be careful what you bit into. So yeah, it's like that's a bad memory. But yeah, isn't that kind of neat?
That is really cool. That is really cool.
We lack, especially here in New Mexico, we're either 49th or 50th in a bunch of categories. We lack on the world stage as a nation in a lot of categories.
Yeah.
But you know what? We are number one in creating edible tape.
Nobody thought of that.
Yeah.
That is great.
Take that, Japan.
Yeah.
You may have transistors, but we got edible tape. You can't eat a transistor, can you? At least, not without gastric distress after the fact. No, I just thought that was cool. So I was like, yeah, really I'm bookmarking that. We're sharing that.
That's neat. That is really neat. I like to watch Shark Tank once in a while. And you can sometimes they're awesome when they get dumb ideas. And you look at it, they're like, who would get this? Why? So
but some of those are just they end up being huge things too. So you never can tell.
Yeah, it's neat to see some of the things that come up there. It's like, okay, and then the story is how they developed. Yeah. This happened because she watched her friend dump his burrito in his lap. Which, let's face it, the idea had to come about 20 minutes later after she stopped laughing. I'm pretty sure. So the idea did come along, but she had to laugh at it. I know she was laughing first. That is really cool.
Oh yeah. So this is Wednesday.
Yeah.
I know you haven't watched Obi-Wan yet.
Not
Guess what?
yet.
As of today, you now have 3 episodes to
Oh
watch.
yeah, well, my kid's got to leave so I can sit and watch it. My
Yeah,
son might watch it with me, but my wife is like, when the Mandalorian was out, it was always like, she's asleep. Okay, I can start it.
Uh-huh. Well, it's going to be on every Wednesday.
Oh, okay, cool. It's
So
like Mandalorian was so cool.
yeah, the first episodes were last Friday, but they did
Yeah, they
two
did
because
two.
they were doing it a little bit late.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. They also have, got to talk a little nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm loving it. Paramount Plus is doing Strange New Worlds. It's the new Star Trek, following Captain Pike, who was the captain of the Enterprise before Captain Kirk came on.
Gosh.
And this show is amazing.
That's cool.
The guy playing Captain Pike, Anson Mount, amazing. He's such a good captain, and he's doing a nice. I don't know. There's something about him that's very like the original Jeffrey Hunter that played in the first pilot, but he's making it his own, and he's a strong captain. They've got a guy playing a Spock, a younger Spock, that he is so good at the role.
That's cool.
And I love this. They finally gave her a name, but they've been calling her Number One. She was in the pilot episode, Number One. It was Majel Barrett, Gene Roddenberry's second wife. And she was so I loved her. I've adored her my entire life. She's a great woman, and she's played a bunch of roles in Star Trek. For this role, they cast Rebecca Romijn. She's really good.
That's cool.
So it's such a neat show. It's a sort of show that if you're not into Star Trek, you can get into it.
How many seasons did Star Trek run? Original series.
Original series ran 3 seasons.
Yeah,
it actually ran 2 seasons and got canceled. And then the fans, it was the first time this ever happened, and long before the internet, the fans actually, there was a groundswell effort, including petitions that were sent out, and they got it reinstated, including, I've met the woman that was in charge of it, Bijou Tremble. She is a member of Starfleet International, as I am.
And it's like a show that only ran 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And look at the legacy it has spawned. It is amazing.
And you look at all the other shows, most of which lasted 7 seasons.
Yeah, 7 or 8 is, a good run is anything over 6 seasons. And yet this one only ran 3, and look at the legacy it's developed. It's awesome.
Well, it was already very influential, and then they finally got the money together to put the first movie out, and all of a sudden you had these people you watched on TV growing up, whether at the time or syndicated in my case. You're watching them on the big screen, and it's like, it's so awesome. And then
all the original characters in that first couple movies.
Yeah. And then you had the spinoffs that came along. So you had The Next Generation, which was another 7-season show, which now they have brought back Patrick Stewart. He's in a series. They've just finished season 2. They're working on season 3 of a show called Picard with him. It's really good. It's dealing with him years later after he's retired from Starfleet, and it's dealing with him as an older man. It's really, really good too. But they've done that. They've done, of course, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. With the new stuff, they've been doing Discovery, which is really good and really dark compared to the other stuff. Of course, now Strange New Worlds. They've got a show called Star Trek Prodigy that's on Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
it's an animated series. It's more kid-based, but it's still watchable for everybody. So it's targeting younger kids to get them into the whole thing.
I think it'll live on forever.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of new shows that are coming up. They actually have an animated Star Trek show on Paramount Plus called Lower Decks that is humor. It's making fun of Star Trek, but doing it with a lot of love.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's the funniest thing. It is so good.
That is cool.
So yeah, they've got that going on, and they're about 4 or 5 episodes now into Strange New Worlds. And every episode, all new episodes on Thursdays, and I've been loving that. It's such a send back to my childhood because it feels like the original series, which is very cool for me. it ties me in with some family stuff that it's nice to remember. So that's going on. Also on Paramount Plus, they're doing a series based on the video game Halo. Uh,
Yeah.
don't play the video game. Just watch the show.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
That's cool.
And if you played the video games and watched the storylines through all those video games, you'll really love it because it all fits and it's so well done. And
That
yeah,
is cool.
so they got all that going on. Yeah, sci-fi is still around and starting to make a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah.
I think that may be partially because I think maybe we're getting to the end of the huge craze for superhero movies.
Yeah.
You're going to see some different stuff
It
come
ran
out.
out of them, I think.
Pretty much, we're doing some Marvel, especially is doing some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, the CW and the Warner Brothers part that was doing DC Comics movies
Oh, okay.
is in the process of being sold or has been sold. It's very confusing,
Wow.
and they're canceling a bunch of those shows.
It changes hands so many times.
Yeah. They were basically just throwing a bunch of money after stuff, and some were projects that would bring it back, and some not so much. So
I saw that there was something I saw that in the upcoming some of the upcoming movies, Stan Lee always made a cameo
in almost everyone.
in just about every one. So they're saying that now they're just going to use CGI and continue that.
He would be so incredibly happy with that. I mean, some people it'd be really offensive and bad taste. I think he would love that.
I think you like that because it's keeping. They're like, they're just going to use CGI and keep up the cameos.
Oh yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he was a neat man.
He started it all.
I got to meet him too.
I love the episode of Big Bang Theory when he was on and the way he reacted to. He was on there, and Sheldon, of course, gets another restraining order. But it was just, he was great.
He was a neat guy. I got to meet him. I think I might have surprised him. I got to thank him for his work on First Amendment rights.
Oh yeah.
Because as a comic book producer, he stood up and says, "No, we're going to do this, and you're not going to tell us how we're going to do it. We're going to do it." And he wrote some stories. He basically removed that Comics Code approval sticker from it and says, "No, government has no say in what we do if we don't want to. If we don't want you to." And very, very cool, man. My wife at the time got to meet him, and she was a bustier woman. He was sitting on a stool for their picture together, and she was standing beside him, and he looks over, and he's kind of eye to eye here. So he looks there, looks up at her, and says, "Atta girl." He was a neat guy.
Yeah.
He was sitting next to Jason Mewes doing autographs. Jason Mewes played Jay in the Jay and Silent Bob movies. Very boisterous, over the top dude. They were joking back and forth. Stan Lee was owning him.
Oh man!
As quick as he could be, Stan Lee was 10 times quicker, and just right there.
That guy was in a movie called Dogma.
Oh yes,
and he was hilarious, especially the rant he goes on at the very end. He just goes on. He's annoying as hell, but he did it beautifully.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there were those are the Kevin Smith movies, and there were a whole bunch of them. One of the first ones that came out, of course, the first one that came out was Clerks. I think it was the second one that came out was Mallrats. By the way, not only were Jay and Silent Bob in it, there was a cameo, Stan Lee.
Oh no way! That's funny.
Where one of the characters, big comic book fan, he corners Stan Lee and he's asking him questions about like Mr. Fantastic. So his body stretches. Does every part of his body stretch? And Stan Lee comes up to his friend and says, "I think your friend is a little too preoccupied with the genitalia of superheroes."
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, I'll get a chance to watch all those movies. Were great. I've actually seen them all now. The last one that I hadn't seen was Chasing Amy.
Okay.
It's really hard to find, and I finally was able to track it down, and they put it on one of the streaming services. And man, Kevin Smith is such a good writer in so many levels because his stuff is funny, but it's also real, very, very real. And you're just like, oh, okay. He's dealing with real life stuff, and he throws in stuff like Dogma. you get to the end of this movie and you're like, that was fun, that was funny, and you're like, oh, this is also kind of a harsh message about organized religion.
Very, yeah.
And you're like,
And
oh,
it was correct. It's like it was a message about organized religion, but also it wasn't. I didn't see it as blasphemous. It
no.
didn't. It's not against it.
I know a bunch of
Just
people
warnings.
did, but I think they were kind of knee jerking.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't care how you feel about the whole God and gender issue. Alanis Morissette playing God was perfect.
And the way they did it was that God takes whatever form he wanted. And that's how but it was the way they did it just did not bother you at all.
I'm sorry, God sitting there doing cartwheels and then booping one of the characters' noses.
Is there skee ball down there?
Yeah.
God likes to come down and play skee ball. There's a series out there. There's 2 seasons now, and they're working on the 3rd series called The Chosen. It's about the life of Jesus, and it comes in just as he's getting started. And Jesus is, in all the movies that I've seen, he's very, very mellow. He's very intellectual, and he doesn't have, but he's kind of straight laced. In this movie, he's quite humorous. Got a really funny personality. And then he still has that meaningful when he talks to you. You're like, oh, yeah. My favorite scene was when they went to a house and this man was going to take him in and let him and his disciples stay there. And he goes, you could take he goes, I have 3 bedrooms, but the upstairs one is haunted with my late grandmother. And Jesus goes, oh, I'll take that one. Just kind of gives you an idea how that whole thing goes.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Oh, man. Yeah, we could talk movies all freaking day because, oh, my God.
Pretty soon, I think I'm going to wait until the rush is over, but Top Gun Maverick. I was obsessed with that movie when back in the 80s. I
was rolling my eyes and not interested. And then I've heard some things.
I've heard some people say that they went in it because they felt they had to. One of them said he was ready to rip it to shreds before it even started, and he liked it.
Well, I know that the only way that Tom Cruise would come back is if they could do practical effects.
Yeah.
Because, Top Gun was a good movie. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
There's a few things in there that if you think about it too much, you'll get pulled out of the movie real easily. One of them being, the signature scene with Tom Cruise's character Maverick flying inverted over a MiG.
That actually happened.
Well, the thing is, not like this.
Wow.
If you take a look at both of these planes had full vertical tail fins, and they're flying like this.
Yeah, well, because they had so much in the screen, but that actually happened to where he could actually see him, and he did do that. There was a guy they talked about. There was a pilot. The pilot that happened. They had to get They had to get State Department. I had all kinds of stuff, but yeah, but that was him.
But it was not like that. It was a lot more different. The
screen is only this big, so they had to do something for the screen. And you can tell that they're not that close together.
And they wanted them to be that close together anyway. It looked cooler.
Yeah, it looked cooler. But I mean, the Blue Angels, they get pretty close, so it's possible. But yeah, and there's a lot of stuff. But it's just, I remember that movie was just so, I was, like I said, I was obsessed.
Yeah. So. You know the funny thing about that movie? Think back on this. Who was the enemy in that movie?
Oh, right. Russian MiGs.
No. Take a look at the planes.
Oh,
they were painted. They were painted black. They had a red star.
That's right.
Nobody has that logo.
They never said they were Russian MiGs.
They always said the enemy.
MiG-28.
Which, by the way, don't exist. There is no such thing as a MiG-28.
Right, but because I found that out when I started researching.
Oh yeah,
and then but the thing is that they only mention. That's right. They never mentioned Russian MiG. Everybody assumed it was Russian.
Yep, they call them enemy fighters.
Enemy fighters, hostiles fighters. So I never thought of that.
Right,
because I immediately thought Russian.
Your brain clicks into what it's supposed to be.
Exactly, and then the red star, it's still red, so you think that's funny.
Yeah,
because they never said where they were from.
Yeah, and those were actually American fighters they painted black.
Yeah,
I believe they were
F-22s or something like that. But yeah, it was great.
It was a strange thing.
It was fun, it was
kind of like
so
watching Independence Day. You don't get
Yeah.
too much in the weeds, or else you're going to get all confused. I actually watched. There's a YouTube channel that I watch called Legal Eagle, and he breaks down legal cases. Sometimes it's real world, sometimes it's stuff from movies. He's done one on My Cousin Vinny, which is his favorite movie, but he's like, I gotta admit this. But he did one. He had a friend come in who was a retired JAG, and they did Top Gun, and they says, well, at the very least, he's going to do some prison time by the time the movie's over.
Oh yeah.
And dishonorable discharge. If this was actually wartime, they would execute him for the crimes that he committed throughout that movie. And you're like, holy crap. Every time he buzzed the tower, he was committing 3 crimes.
Well, so, you see, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about, because my buddy of mine was on the on an aircraft carrier, and they did do that once in a while, and it was never a they had permission.
Yes.
They never did it without permission.
That's a big thing. That's a court-martial offense if you do it without permission.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you've been told not to.
Yeah.
That's a violation. You're defying a direct order.
And he said that happened a lot, but most of the time it was because they didn't have the right angle coming in for a landing, so they had to go back around. So they just basically sweep up. But there's a lot of stuff. I remember watching Major League, and there's a lot of really good stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
But there's a few things like, no, that wouldn't happen.
Well, there's a real good channel on YouTube called Cinema Sins. And it's so much fun. Yeah. They have a counter at the top, and every time there's a sin in the movie, and it could be anything for this guy, something that's not right, something that's not consistent. Unfortunately, he's a Marvel fan, so every time it's a DC movie and DC logo comes up, he says DC Comics, and you get a sin just for being a DC movie. It's like, but still. They're funny. They're really well put together. They're fun to watch. Some of them get kind of long because he'll get into it. But yeah, I love watching a movie, but sometimes it's fun to tear it apart at the same time. And you can tear it apart and still love it.
My dad was the one that used to go when he was a kid. He'd go to the movie theater and he'd be watching the cowboy movies, and they'd sit there and go. And they'd be sitting in the stands, and he was the jerk that would sit there and go, 11. 12, 13. What do you get? How many times he shoots his gun without reloading? And they walk by and go, 5, 6, and then what now? Well, in this chase, he's passed the same rock 14 times, and then wow, all of those fights, he beat up all those guys, and he still has his hat on.
Oh yeah.
My mother said, don't watch those with you. I hated watching those with your father.
It's fun to Mystery Science Theater a movie every once in a while, though.
Yeah. Then you watch movies. There's some movies you watch again after many years, and you look and go, "Really? What have we got there?" Can you read
Truman?
Oh, hey, man, what's going on? You've got to get your monitor for.
See, this is where we're we're a little cheap.
Yeah.
Do it to my boys. Nice seeing you all.
Good to see
Truman. Well, it's good to see your name.
Yeah.
Hi, Truman.
I still love the story about my wife walked into the mall and she heard this guy playing and she goes, why does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
And she goes over and she's a distance away and she goes, that looks like, and all of a sudden he started, doing that. She goes, yep, that's Truman.
And 2 weeks ago at open mic, Truman was a guesting
with a few friends. Yeah.
And his fiddle.
Yeah, he
got up there and played some of that.
Fiddle. I was like, dude. Yeah.
He says, got to tune in to see you guys.
Cool.
Well, you know what? We'll fix that.
Yeah. We gotta do that again.
Yeah. We need to do a special thing, either a show or just us hanging either way.
Yeah.
Of an evening. And if we do it as a show, Dallas David Ochoa wants to come on too, I'm sure. And we'll just sit around and drink and play music.
Here we go. There it is. That's it. That's it. Well,
just because we had a show that he happened to bring a bottle of Jameson's before we started.
I'd never had that before. That was really good.
Oh yeah. Maybe you're partially Catholic. I don't know.
No, I was raised Catholic.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic.
Wrong type of Catholic. Though.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
But yes, I did actually just reach for my guitar. How about that? So
you gonna play us out?
Yeah, we're at the end of the show.
All right.
And
get out. We have a lot going on.
Yeah.
I will be on tomorrow night here in Las Cruces at Don Felix, Friday night in Alamogordo at DH Lacombs. Randy from 3 to 6 at Amaro Winery. Catch that.
Yeah, on
Saturday afternoon. And it's going to be a good weekend.
And yeah.
Get out. Enjoy.
I'll be doing a bunch of songs that I've never done before. So ought to be interesting.
Very cool.
And, you know, since we're right at the end, I'm going to sing a really uplifting song about a girl that shot her husband to death with a shotgun.
What? Go.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay.
I gotta hear this.
By the way, once the show is over, if you're listening to this on repeat, you've got to rewind to that because that's the best reaction I've ever heard. This is a song by Casey Donahue called 12 Gauge. There's a 12 gauge shotgun lying on the floor. She's not sure that he's breathing anymore. Now she's sitting in the corner of her bed in her room. Sirens blare and they'll be there soon. Now she's crying her head in her hands. Talking so fast you don't understand. Said he hit her in the morning, he hit her that night. All she remembers is a flashing light. But he's never gonna hit her again. He's never gonna hit her again. He can be real sure of a one thing, friend. He's never gonna hit her again. Well, he caught her with a quick right cross. Didn't know the line he'd cross. Now there's blood in her hair and blood on her clothes. Blood still running from her nose. Well, she went and found a box of shells. Gonna send him straight to hell. There were tears on her face with her eyes turned black. Didn't know a 12 gauge would kick like that. But he's never gonna hit her again. Never gonna hit her again. You can be real sure of one thing, friend. He's never gonna hit her again. There's a 12 gauge shotgun lying on the floor. She's not sure if he's breathing anymore. Well, they put her in the cop car, took her downtown. All of the neighbors standing around. Now she's crying her head in her hands. Talking so fast, they don't understand. Said he hit her that morning, hit her that night. All she remembers is a flashing light. But he's never gonna hit her again. Never gonna hit her again. You can be real sure of one thing, friend. He's never gonna hit her again. There's a 12 gauge shotgun lying on the floor. Nice and uplifting.
That's good. That was good. Okay.
We will see how that goes over because I guess I'm going to ask people if they want to do the callback. I've never asked anybody to do a callback, and I don't know how that's going to be well received, but it's a cool song.
Yeah.
And the callback is simple. And the chorus, the first line, but he's never going to hit her again. And everybody yells, no. And the second, he's never going to hit her again. Hell no.
There you go.
It's
all right.
He came and played at Country Fest and did that, and that whole crowd was just going nuts.
Oh,
it was
man.
so much fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was out with a friend of mine. We were listening to that, and she says, as I'm doing the callbacks on the song with the crowd, and she's like, "Do you know who this is?" I says, "No, never heard of him before." It's like, yeah, I know him.
Oh,
He's awesome.
That's good.
Oh, Truman, nice, bro. Do it detuned. Oh my God.
That's good.
Oh man.
All right.
Well, Truman, thank you for joining us at the end of the show. And
yep. We will see you all soon.
We don't see you on the couch, but still, we know you're here. You're here in spirit, haunting us. Yeah, like a poltergeist.
Yeah.
With a very loud guitar and a lot of hair. You guys have yourselves a great week.
We'll see you again.
Thanks, BJ.
Absolutely.